Welcome to Feral Friday Podcast, Unhinged and Unbothered, a podcast where we talk about smut, dark and paranormal romance, and everything in between. Listener discretion is advised. See the episode description for more details.
"What should I wear?" she asked. I pulled her to my side, my hands cupping both her ass cheeks. "Bathing suit and whatever you want over it. But I have something else for you to put on first. Get on the bed and present for me." Her eyes flared, and I held my breath as I waited to see what she would do. For a moment, I thought she would resist my command. But then she did what I asked, getting on the bed, lowering her head, as she pressed her ass in the air. Satisfaction filled me, and I trailed my hand over her ass. My Omega was obeying me like I was an alpha. "Good girl," I said. "Stay in position." I opened the nightstand drawer and grabbed the large butt plug from where I'd put it earlier. "You're going to wear this today," I said, holding the plug where she could see it. "Every time you move today, you'll be reminded of how much I love you." Her eyes widened, and she pressed up on her hands. I delivered several fast and hard smacks to her ass. "Did I say you could get out of position?" She quickly dropped down to the bed with a whimper. "That's way too big," she protested. I ran my hands across her light pink cheeks. "I know you can take it." This plug was larger than any I'd used on her before, but it was nothing compared to what she would take later tonight. We needed her nice and stretched for us. I ran my hand down her back, waiting to see if she would protest more, but she kept her head lowered to the bed. "I'm almost disappointed you obeyed so easily. Now I don't have an excuse to rut in your ass more." Her only response was a grunt, and I grinned at her lack of amusement. I clicked open the lube and poured it on her asshole. "Don't worry, darling. I'll make sure to take the plug out several times today and apply more lube." "That's really comforting," she said dryly. And that was an excerpt from Cherished by Emilia Emerson.
That was great, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, I love that scene so much.
That is one of my favorite scenes.
Nothing says "I love you"
so
like
good.
a big butt plug.
I just want you
That you
to
just feel
know.
every time you sit down and you walk. And
I pulled up the book on my Kindle and searched butt plug, and then found the best passage using butt plug. And that's how you got your excerpt for today.
Good job. Good work. Good work,
on point, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That might be one of the most horrifying moments of my life.
No.
And that's why it was a surprise.
Like you started, and I'm like, I wonder what this is from. And then I'm like, it's sounding a little familiar. And then I was like, no.
I saw it the moment it clicked in your head. You're like, I know exactly where she's reading from.
The whole time I was like, just like in denial in my brain. I'm like, I did not write these words. Someone else wrote this.
Butt plug.
No, we absolutely love it so
We
much.
do.
So much.
Yeah, absolutely. That was such a good book.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are very lucky today. We're very lucky to be joined by the author today. So please welcome Emilia Emerson. Woo!
So exciting. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, we're gonna get started off here. So, Sarah 1, what are you reading currently? What's going on?
Oh, I'm reading like 3 books right now, but I
Good.
just started an arc of Corrupted Mate by Trish Heinrich. And I've never read any of their books before, but this is an enemies to lover alien abduction romance. Yeah.
We love
And I'm
alien
getting
abduction.
also like Dragon Shifter vibes, so it is like
Ooh.
so many different things going on. But I literally just started it this weekend after I finished Allie Hazelwood's book, Bride.
Ooh,
So,
nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. What about you, Miss Marie? What are you reading right now?
Well, after taking a little tiny break from Sarah J. Maas's Deep Dark Hole, that was actually terrible. I just fell down that rabbit hole very hard. I picked up House of Sky and Breath yesterday. So let's see where it goes. And
Nice.
Sarah too. What are
Funny
you
enough,
currently reading?
yesterday I started Crescent City, the first one. What is that? Fire and Breath? Is it that one? I don't know.
Who knows?
The first one. Crescent
Yeah.
City number 1. Whatever it may be.
Crescent City number 1.
That one. I had been waiting for it on
Mhm,
Libby
mhm.
for forever, and it came due, and I was like, yep, every other book is off to the side now. But let's see, Ivy, what are you reading?
I am reading Things We Say in the Dark by Rubber Soul 02. It's a Dramione fan fiction, as Kitty geeks over there. I do have to say, I did just finish Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love, and I
One of my favorites.
fell in love with that. That fic gave me a really bad fan fiction hangover. So
It's so good.
I did pick up Things We Say in the Dark, but I'm having a little bit harder time getting into it than Batmobile. But it's alright.
That's valid. That's valid.
Kitty, what are
We
you
have a
reading?
couple of Dramini addicts in this pod, just so you know.
Yeah.
They might
Yeah.
need to join a program soon. So
Are you sure? Maybe.
I might be on route for
Possibly.
that as well. Thank you, Kitty.
You're so welcome. Happy to help everyone get into fan fiction. Yeah.
Kitty, what are you reading?
I am reading, it's called Come to My Door, the Alpha God Book 2 by Lex Luthor. So I'm reading Omegaverse still. I'm still on my little Omegaverse. I think this is one I actually looked up on the pod one week when I was doing the deep dive about girl dick. This came from that search while we were recording. So yeah, I'm having a good time.
Awesome.
Thanks for asking. Yeah.
Love that for you.
Yes. Okay, so now we get to introduce Emilia Emerson, author of the Luna Sol Omegaverse series. So welcome, Emilia. And we want to know, first of all, what are you currently reading? Are you currently in the middle of a book?
Yeah, so I've been hooked on Cassie Mint lately, who writes these novellas. I mean, they take like 20 to 30 minutes to read, and they're so good. And if you've read my books, you know that I write really long books, and so I'm fascinated. I'm like, how can someone write something so good in such a short amount of time? So I think I've read like 60 of hers since January. I just can't get enough.
Wait,
Ooh.
6-0?
Yeah.
6-0. Okay. Down for this.
But then earlier this evening, I just started Sinclair Kelly's new Omegaverse, Breaking Our Rules. It's a hockey Omegaverse.
Oh.
So I'm just a few pages in. So.
Hockey Omegaverse.
We know someone who would like that.
Okay, that might be a sports romance that I might read. I'm typically
If it's
a sports
Omegaverse.
romance, but if it's Omegaverse, I might make an exception. Perhaps.
She's like taking notes,
Let me just
writing
write
that down.
Yeah.
I'll pick your brain on that later as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh.
Well, we wrote some questions down, but then we forgot to tell ourselves who was asking these questions.
Only mine is
as
clear.
per usual. We're a hot mess. Yes, only yours is clear. But I'll go ahead and ask, when did your writing journey start?
Yeah, I feel like it's so cliche to be like, I always love to write stories, but I did. I grew up, so English wasn't my first language. I went to the States when I was 7, so I was really behind on reading English, but my mom read to me every night, and so I really loved like stories. And as I started to be able to write more, I would like go on our ancient computer and write in like Comic Sans because I thought that was the coolest font and
That's
like
awesome.
little stories. and like really wanted to be an author from when I was little. And then kind of once things got really busy in high school, I started in high school this like fantasy book. But then that kind of, you know, got put on the back burner. I did college and grad school and worked as a therapist and just did not have any time for writing. Because at the same time, I was also a wedding photographer. So I was working a 9 to 5 and also photographing weddings. So I never had evenings and weekends. And then at the end of 2021, I decided to close my photography business. And I remember at the last wedding I ever photographed, my friend photographed it with me. And at dinner, I was telling her about this Omegaverse I had started writing. So saying goodbye to photography allowed me to actually start writing. And yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you were busy.
We love it. We love it. Yeah.
So what
It's
is
so
your
cool to come back to it. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna ask, what is your favorite Omegaverse trope?
See, I think it has to be hurt comfort, which is, I think, just my favorite romance trope ever. Like, I don't really care who's hurt or what kind of hurt it is, but but just to get the comfort. And I think it's a trope that lends itself really well to Omegaverse because you have like the different designations and like you can sort of play with that. But yeah, I think that has to be my favorite.
I think your Omegaverse in particular is what really introduced me to that trope and made me realize that's what I really like. I'm like a sucker for punishment. But you do it so well. Like, it's so like, the hurt is pretty deep, but the comfort is also like really strong as well. So you have this really good balance. I remember because Kitty is actually the one that got me to read Forbidden. Because I went on this weird thing of like, I need like a Beauty and the Beast like thing. It was like back in like September, and Forbidden came up, and then I remember reading it going, I'm not really getting the Beauty and the Beast thing, but I love this book. And then I was like, why am I crying? Why am I crying when I'm reading smut? But I just absolutely loved it, and I couldn't put it down, and then here I am. So but yeah, that hurt comfort's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. What was your introduction to Omegaverse, if you want to share? Where did you first come across Omegaverse?
Yeah, so with COVID, you know, I finally broke down and was like, I guess I have to try out this TikTok thing. And I felt so old, and I was like, all right. And then, you know, immediately got sucked into book talk. And so I read Sarah J. Maas and like started getting, you know, like the pipeline, right? And I don't know, I must have seen a video about Lola and the Millionaires by Catherine Moon. And for me, so I read...
We love Catherine Moon.
I read often like a book a day. And so I'm like not discerning. If I see like a good quote or someone being like, I like this book, I'm like, great. Like no investigation. I'll just dive right in.
Same.
And so as I was reading Lola, I kept being like, I don't really understand what's happening, but I really like it. And I just kept being like, I don't get it. And then I read, because it's a duet. I read the duet like 3 times in 1 week. And I was like, oh my God, I do like this.
Lola is such an interesting Omegaverse to come in on because it's like not even like, because it's like from the perspective of a beta. Like it's so interesting.
She's not even an Omega.
But Lola, none of these other people in this podcast have read Lola and the Millionaires yet.
Not yet. I just read it last month. I just read Baby and the Late Night Howlers.
Good. I skipped
Love
Baby
that.
and went straight to Lola.
Yeah,
I've heard that Lola's better.
Yeah, I went to Lola, but then Baby grew on me. Like I read it a bunch of times now, and so I'm like, at first I was like, oh, it can't compare, but now I'm like, no, I really like Baby as well.
Lola, though,
but yeah,
we're just
so
we're big Catherine Moon stans in this
we
pod.
Are.
I just read one of her books this weekend. That's going to be my book report, my next book report.
Yeah. Oh,
get ready.
Exciting. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Get ready.
What's your favorite genre to read?
I mean, romance, but I read, I was trying to think, I'm like, what subgenres? I love mafia, I love paranormal, love Omegaverse. I basically will read all romance, except I don't read a lot of like trad published romance, and like nothing against it. I'm like, if it's on KU, I am reading it like instantly. So like all the trad books, I feel like I'm so behind on everything that's, in, but if it's on KU and it's some level of romance or smut, like I'm in.
I mean, we totally get that.
Yeah.
Our podcast is pretty much based on KU.
Yes.
We try to like read as a group like books that are all on KU, and we have a book club that's all that we do. It's just KU smut.
Yeah. And every once in a while, whatever comes through the library, like.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But.
Yeah. We love that.
Love it.
So I have a question. Going back to Omegaverse, what is one thing that you wish people knew about Omegaverse? Like somebody has never read anything.
I know the
before.
answer to this. Based on your Instagram. I know what you're going to answer.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so this is not the thing I think is most important, but I made a TikTok this summer, and it was just me explaining what nodding was. And it did really well. I just it had like 122,000 views, like tons of great comments. And so TikTok has just been so mean to me lately. So I was like, let me just repost that video because it did well the first time. It did well the second time, but it did not hit the target audience at all. Like all the comments are like horrified. They're like, there's something wrong with you. People being like, I'm ready to die now. And I'm like, okay. The algorithm did not push this video to the audience I wanted. I think honestly, okay, so much of Omegaverse is weird. Like when you just have to explain it, you start just getting into this like thing of like, and now this is weird and this and this. But like I think Omegaverse can be really deep. Like I think it can be a vehicle for exploring a lot of like really important life challenges and dynamics and societal everything. And some people write a lot lighter Omegaverse that doesn't necessarily do that, and I think those are so enjoyable too, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do think there's a lot of books in the genre that are really doing some really important stuff, and so it's fine if people think it's like silly or whatever, but I just think there's a lot more depth to it than like being weirded out by weird genitalia. Like,
yeah, I think if you stop to think about it a little too much, you can definitely like. I love Omegaverse, but I just try to think. If you start to go down that mental rabbit hole, like you can definitely like skeeve yourself out.
When you read enough, you're just like, this is normal.
I would rather just think about it all
nonstop.
the time.
Oh no,
Yes.
like I like thinking about it, but if
I
I start to think about like the biological reasoning and then I start doing like the science think about it, but no, the sexual think about it, totally.
you just have to like accept it and be along for the ride. And I think that's true for like any like monster or paranormal or whatever. I'm like, just go with it. Like just whatever they tell me, I'm like, yes. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
And
That's
just keep going.
Love that.
I just want to know what I would smell like. Like, what would be my scent?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yes.
Me too.
I think about that often.
Wasn't there that?
Hilariously, I have like a really bad sense of smell, which I actually love. I don't want to smell better, but like having to write all these scents in my book, I'm like, oh my God, this is exhausting. Like, I don't think about what people smell like at all.
But I love the way that you've done, like, so my favorite is Pack Chaos. And how, like, they all complement each other. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So
Like
much
it's
thought.
all like a theme.
So much thought.
Like everyone has their like the whole pack is like all the same kind of subgenre of smell. That's how you know they're mates.
Funnily enough,
So good.
someone else in our group actually has a very unique sense of smell. Kitty, how would you feel about being in the Omegaverse universe?
Okay, so I would probably just die. I have like a hyper sense of smell. I can smell way too much in my life. So I would probably just keel over and die. But I like to just think about it, and I would like to pretend that it would be fine. There would be no problems. No problems.
You're just secretly an Omega and you haven't told us.
Maybe.
You're living in an Omegaverse.
I mean, I took that test and I was a true Omega.
Of course you were.
Yeah, right. We took that test.
We did.
We all took that test.
I think I was a beta and it was wrong because I'm definitely an Omega.
You were a beta. Ivy was an alpha. I don't remember what Marie and Sarah too were.
I got Omega.
No, I'm the
You
only.
got Omega.
I'm the only alpha here. Sorry, Emilia.
Obviously,
we don't know about
again.
You,
I'm definitely. I'm okay. I feel like people in my real life would type me as an alpha, but I want to be an Omega. So that's what I'm gonna be.
Oh yeah,
Spoiler
I 100% Omega all
Do
the way.
my bidding.
All the way.
Yes.
I make nests. Like, I'm a baby about everything. I'm also the glue in most of my friend groups that keep everybody together.
Yep, exactly.
I'm a nester for sure.
Oh yeah, all the blankets.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
I'm gonna make things real personal now, as I do in my awkward.
Sarah's gonna take us down a path.
In my super awkward way. Today is actually Awkward Moments Day, so there we go. I'll call this a light spoiler because I'm not going to say which book it is, and that's going to mean it's not spoiling things. But your descriptions of cancer treatment were so specific that I got a little triggered. That as somebody who just finished their cancer treatment today.
You did finish cancer treatment today. Yay!
The internet will be the death of me. I was reading and had a moment where I had to stop for a minute because I was like, holy shit, this all happened to me. So I guess I want to ask, was your writing about the process, like, was that cathartic to you? Like, was that almost like therapy?
Yeah, it really was. I avoided writing those scenes for a long time because I think when you go through chemo or any sort of treatment like that, dissociating, at least that's how I got through it.
100%.
So I was very... Yeah, I mean, there are just truly like months of my life last year that I don't remember. And like, I know I was doing stuff. I was working full time. I was writing this book. I was like doing all this stuff and I don't really remember them.
You were writing while you were in chemo?
Yeah.
Wow. I give you a lot of credit for that because I could never.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was just in like survival mode. So I just had to keep going. And you know, when like I look back, I'm like, how did I do that? And it's like, well, you do it because you have to. But yeah, when I finally got ready to write those scenes, it really was very healing. And I altered some things for the purpose of the plot. Like I did 6 months of chemo. I wasn't going to have like 6 months. I'm like, we're not doing that. We're compressing the timeline here. But I mean, pretty much what happened was what happened to me. And actually, even as I've been done with chemo for a while, but as I've just been healing from it, because it really, really destroys your body. Like it's been this thing of like, I turned this horrible thing that happened to me into this book that I'm so proud of. And it's really helped like give some meaning to the experience, where it felt really meaningless and unfair and horrible. And now I have like, not that everything happens for a reason, and thank God I got cancer so I could write this book, but this feeling of like, you know, of like I could like reclaim this experience and make it something for me, and you know, like that feels really important.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's huge. All right, I'll say one more thing and then I'm shutting up. But as someone who also heavily disassociated throughout chemo, her reactions throughout everything, I was just like, yeah, this is it. This is the experience. And that was really validating for me to read as someone who just went through it all. So thank you.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you also went through that. It's truly one of those things where I'm like, you don't realize how horrible it is until you go through it. And just this thing of like, I will just never be the same person I was before this experience.
100%.
And yeah, there's just a lot to it.
Yeah. And now if anybody else I know ever gets it, I am going to have your back so hard.
Yeah. But I do appreciate that you do represent characters that have different experiences in life. You know, with Forbidden, you had a character with, you know, struggling with eating disorders and body image and, you know, emotional abuse from their parents. Then, you know, characters with, you know, going through this medical trauma. And then all of your characters really have gone through like government trauma as well. To see that represented in these books, I think was really cathartic for me. Just, it's nice to see. I mean, it's not nice, like, that's the best way you can put it, but like you're representing real people who exist. And, you know, I have a husband who has a disability, and he's all about, you know, like having that representation and like getting that like visibility out there. And so to have that become more of a norm as opposed to like the exception, like that's really cool. And I know that you're including that in your upcoming Mafia, to include a character with mobility aids, which is like, that's so cool. I don't know if you can tell us any more about that today, or if you're still like kind of keeping it under wraps, but we'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, this book has been so fun. But yeah, the main character, Sophia, has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and she uses sometimes a rollator, but more using a wheelchair. And it's been, you know, this is the first time I'm writing something that's outside of my own experience. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so hard. Because I know what it's like to be disabled, but not using mobility aids. So I've done like a bunch of interviews with people who are wheelchair users. Yes. I have this weekend, I'm going to be interviewing someone with Ehlers-Danlos who does rope to learn about like how you modify rope. Just a hint of what might be in this book. That's amazing. So that's been really fun. And I think like, you know, Mafia is a genre where everything's about like external appearance. Like you have to appear powerful and strong. So it's been really fun writing this male main character who's not very emotionally intelligent, because all my guys so far have been like pretty like just like sensitive and like with it, and this guy's just like, what are feelings, you know? But then to introduce someone in this world who looks so vulnerable just visually and like playing with that has been really fun.
Ooh, I'm excited.
That's so cool. Excited.
I'm very excited.
That sounds very different from the Mafia romances we were reading this month.
Oh god.
Yeah, Mafia is definitely a range. I started reading like the like virginity is everything, like super sort of traditional Mafia, and then I kind of found other like subsets of the genre where I'm like, okay, we're playing a little bit more with these themes and characters.
We were reading very bad Boston Irish Mafia this month. It was atrocious.
Wasn't good.
We also had somebody local to the Boston area, Massachusetts area, make us little diagrams and little maps of where locations are.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It wasn't good writing.
It was not good. I have given up.
Which we knew going into it, but it was still not good.
But it wasn't like the good kind of bad. It was just the bad kind of bad.
Just the bad kind of bad.
Yeah. The bad kind of bad.
Because I love good.
I didn't read, but I just loved watching all of the spoilers that everyone posted. And be like, wow. Still glad I didn't read that.
Yeah, I'm with Kitty. I didn't read this month's Smut Heathens book, but it has been very entertaining, especially Marie. Marie, you've been having the best reactions. Little innocent Marie.
I am not.
But she's not. And that's what gets you.
But that's what everybody thinks. That's what we just tell everyone.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Marie's seems quiet, and then Marie comes out with these like one-liners, and you're like, Marie!
And some knowledge that you would just be like,
And knowledge. Like,
oh,
whoa.
you know that?
I look
all
like a
about
child,
learning.
but I am 32 and I have had experiences. I like
We
what
love
I
it.
like. I'm into the stuff I like, and it is all good.
And never
And we
apologize
love
for
that
it.
for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
We love that for us, too.
Correct.
I know
do.
I can always go to Marie for tips and tricks, so.
Well, I think we should move into our activity, our tarot activity. We're so excited for
Yay.
this. So we love to play games on this podcast, and it's been a little bit since we've played Fuck, Marry, Kill. So what we've done is each of us have put together oops, all my tabs went away. We've all put together some options for Fuck, Marry, Kill for you to play, Emilia. So
Okay.
this is gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited. We stuck to the major arcana, so
Okay, I was like, yeah. I don't know about the sun or
That would get so convoluted so fast.
I know.
Yeah.
We were on a call the other day, and we were like, "Oh, what should we do?" And we're like, "Yeah, we shouldn't do the minor. That would be too much. Too many options."
But like 3 of Cups, 5 of Swords, and
Yeah.
the Page of whatever.
Pentacles, something,
Yes.
whatever. Who wants to go first? How about Sarah too? Let's let you go first in your internet.
Okay. Oh, rude.
In your
Internet.
Now I'm upset.
Aw.
So, Fuck, Marry, Kill.
No, you're joking, right? I really thought you were freezing as a joke.
No. I heard you, and then it gave me the like, oh, your internet sucks, like swirly, and I was like, anyways, Fuck, Marry, or Kill. The Tower, the Devil, or Judgment.
That's so hard.
This is so good.
Okay. The tower, the Tower, the Devil, or Judgment. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to
Literally, okay.
have reasons. You can just it
That's
can just
true.
be whatever you want.
That's true. No, truly, the first thing in my head was like, well, the tower is pretty phallic. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's where your mind went.
I
Yep.
do.
yeah. So, okay, I guess we're gonna have to try fucking the tower. I'll go through some shit there, but that's okay.
It's hurt than comfort.
I'll kill the devil and marry Judgment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's totally legit. Totally.
I would have
Love
fucked the devil, probably.
You
we
know, that's probably a better way to go, but I like torturing myself apparently.
I dig it.
Perfect.
I dig it.
You're a masochist is what I think that says about you. Yeah, for sure.
And that's okay.
How about it is okay. Marie, why don't you go next?
So, Fuck, Marry, Kill, Wheel of Fortune, The Magician, and The Chariot.
Okay. Wait, what was the second one?
The Magician?
Magician.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll okay, just instinct here. Fuck Wheel of Fortune, kill the chariot, marry the magician.
Yeah, I
That
stand.
one's
Solid.
hard.
I stand that.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
I would do.
I don't know if I'd want to be with like an inanimate object for the rest of time.
Fair.
You know,
Very fair. Yeah.
Try being married for 10 years and then maybe you'll reconsider.
Yeah, exactly right.
Wow, it's brutal out
I'm
here.
joking. Oh my
It's
god.
going on year 1 in about a week.
You guys, Sarah, you woke up Harvey.
Oh no, Harvey.
Oh my god.
No, not Ivy. Stop talking to us again.
Oh my gosh.
Siri
love
doesn't
it.
bother me for the entire day until I start filming and recording this podcast.
The rise of the machines.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's happening. Okay, Sarah, 1.
Mm-hmm.
You next.
All right. What am I going to go with? All right. This will be good. Fuck, marry, kill. The Hanged Man. The Lovers. The Hermit.
Okay. I just pulled the Hangman the other day, actually.
Following
okay,
you.
I guess, yeah. I guess, okay, marry the Lovers because that just seems nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, like, maybe fuck the Hermit. Like, I know, he's mysterious.
Mhm.
Maybe there's some intrigue there.
He's packing.
And yeah. And then the Hanged Man is already on his way. So
Let's have done there.
Finish the job.
Amazing. Yeah, I like it. Okay, Ivy, your turn.
I think that I picked the sexiest major arcana in the Empress,
wow.
the devil in the world.
Wow.
Mhm.
I love the Empress. I don't know if I want to fuck her or marry her. Because if you marry them, do you just get to fuck them all the time? Is the question.
Yes.
Okay, so we will marry the Empress.
Okay.
Maybe this is my chance to fuck the devil. I missed it the last
There we go.
time. So here we go. And
Good
then
choice.
kill the world.
Kill the world.
Yeah.
This
You
is your
had it
villain
coming.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard it here,
Definitely.
folks.
Killing the
Trick
world.
question.
Kill the world.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
Oh, yes, all the legal reasons. Okay. Mine are fuck, marry, kill, the star, strength, and the hierophant. Hierophant, however you say
Oh.
it.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say it out loud.
Oh, well,
Perfect.
hopefully.
There we go.
Choose your favorite.
It's Hierophant.
Hierophant. Okay.
Hierophant.
Hierophant.
I think, well, the star is very important to me and in Cherish, so we might have to marry the star because that just seems
Cute.
really lovely.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the other one? The star?
Strength.
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 Mhm. A lion. If you're into monster fucking, I guess.
Yeah.
I was going with the
Maybe
concept.
we'll give that a try. We'll fuck strength.
Well, Sarah. And then, are you gonna kill the Hierophant? Hierophant? I always want to say
just
font,
because
like an
that
elephant.
name is too hard to
Mm.
pronounce. So
You
we're
know,
just
that's
gonna
valid.
have to-
That's valid.
Yeah.
I also
have
hate
time
whenever
for
I
that.
pull that card.
A lot of people don't like him.
I don't like him.
because yeah, I don't mind him. He's okay.
He's a little
I'm not
snooty.
actually. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with that card, to be
Mhm.
honest.
That's why I don't like him,
So-
because I'm like, what does this mean?
I feel like
Maybe I'll have to look it up.
I feel like he would be really overbearing if you were marrying him. Like he'd always be like trying to tell you what to do and how you're doing things wrong,
He
which is
would.
annoying.
He'd want
Yeah.
he'd want you to be a trad wife.
Ugh, we
Mm.
can't have that.
yeah,
God.
kill that.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Gross.
No, right. Okay. Sarah does have one more. Let's just do one more.
Yeah.
Take it away, Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, me? What?
Oh yeah. So, yeah. You're like, I did another one.
I was like, no way.
No,
You
it was
did.
me. So, fuck, marry, kill. We got the magician, the wheel, and the emperor.
Okay, I'm gonna fuck the magician, marry the wheel, kill the emperor.
Yes, I agree with this.
Yep, that's where I was going.
I hate the emperor card. Like, I cannot
sucks.
get on board with him. He does. He makes me
I'm already
so
married to the Empress, so
Yeah.
that masculine energy in here.
No,
Conflict of
definitely
interest.
Hey, unrelated question. Do we have daddy issues?
Wow, Ivy. Was that really
Who
unrelated?
exactly are you
Wow.
asking?
Yeah, also a
Just-
question.
Just random. I mean,
Did you not
Possibly.
see Sarah One and I talking about the Shark Daddy book that we've been reading? 5
What was
stars?
this?
Last night,
I gotta read that.
the alien shark
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, by
Daddy,
Ash Raven. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Loved
remember the name of
it.
the book. I just keep calling it Shark Daddy book.
Jumping the Shark, I think is what it's
Yes,
really
I think
called.
it is.
yeah,
but I'm
that's
just
what it
like,
is, that's what it
I
is.
just keep
Yes.
calling it Shark Daddy.
I know, me too. But yes, Jumping the
oh.
Shark by Ash Raven.
So
Love it.
good.
Yeah.
I do have a special super lightning round extra bonus game since we have a little bit extra time.
Surprise.
Let's do it.
Yes, I have a surprise
Surprise.
superlatives round for the
Oh.
tarot.
Ooh.
So, if you could, Emilia, tell us the tarot card most likely to have a knot.
But we hate all the men cards.
Nice.
I mean, I kind of feel like we established that strength does, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the devil would also have a knot.
Well, we
Okay,
did
yeah.
read-
Slash
Yeah.
his tail would also might be the thing with the
Ooh.
knot.
We
Perhaps.
read
the
a
Empress
novella
definitely
about
has
the
a
devil.
lock situation.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about the 3 cards most likely to be in a reverse harem?
Ooh. These are such
Um,
good questions.
I thought of these on my way home from work today.
These are so
job.
fun. Okay, I feel like the Fool definitely has to be in there.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, and maybe Lovers. I know they're obvious, and then Empress. Yeah, she's the alpha of the group.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh, I like it.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. And then give me an alpha, an omega, and a beta.
Well, Empress is the alpha. Okay, I pull Page of Swords all the time, and I get really annoyed by that. Beta.
Oh, poor little Page of Swords.
It's just like constant, and I'm like, I've already learned what I need to learn from this card. Please, let's move on.
Move along.
Oh, and maybe I feel like the Star would be an Omega.
Ooh, that's a good
Alright.
one.
That's really cute.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. Oh,
Awesome.
That's so good.
That's so good.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yay. Yeah, I was like driving home and I was like, superlatives.
Love it.
This is so fun. When I started like my tarot journey, and then actually because I was, as of like a week ago, I was a therapist. And one of my clients introduced me to tarot. And so that's kind of how I got into it. And then my coworker and I, we both took a course, like an online class that was tarot for therapy, which was really cool. And it's just, I mean, it's just like a totally different approach than like, you know, doing a reading.
Yeah.
And now we have a third approach. We've got Omegaverse tarot, we've got Fuck, Marry, Kill tarot, all sorts of things.
I have a
love
whole
it.
list. I have a whole list of the major arcana as tropes. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but
Write
the
a
pod
book.
has seen my screenshot. It's in my planner. Where I've like written it out at work. I'm like, the wheel. Ivy came up with that one. We don't know what it's called, but it's what they're strapped to.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That
the
does
things
have
I
a
come
name.
up with when I'm at work.
What better time?
What better time? Yeah,
This time.
yeah.
You mentioned that you're no longer a therapist. You're now a full-time author.
Congratulations.
Which is so exciting to see on your Instagram. Can you talk to us a little bit about that journey? What's your most excited thing about? Yeah. Tell us.
I feel like once I gave a 7-week notice at my job because I had very long-term therapy clients. And I knew, and like, I'm like, okay, this is why people don't give extended notice, because it's like, it's so much. And I was like, I know my life is about to change, but every day is the exact same as normal. Yeah, this was a really scary process. My therapist has heard me talk about it for many months now, just being like, can I do this? Should I do this? I feel like she's probably going like, thank God we're done with that now. Yeah, I think, I was a wedding photographer, and that gave me like supplemental income. As a therapist at a nonprofit, you don't make a lot of money. So I made enough to live off of. And then photography was my additional income where I could actually like save and travel and, all that stuff. So saying goodbye to that was really scary. And I, at first, did not think writing, I had no expectation that this would earn me any money at all. And then I started seeing some like indie authors share how much money they make. And I'm like, oh, people are making money off of this. So I was hoping it could just be like a supplemental income. And then it ended up like Forbidden just really took off, and I still don't really know how it happened, and I'm so grateful for it. And I started realizing like I could do this full time. I'm super risk averse. I did not grow up with money and with having serious like health conditions, and it's terrifying, and health insurance is so expensive and like all this stuff. So it was a really hard decision. And initially I was going to work the rest of this year and quit at the beginning of next year. But I was just really burned out, and I finally realized I'm like, there is no amount of money that could be in my bank account that will make this feel safe. So like, I just have to do it. And if I can't sustain it and have to go back to 9 to 5, then I do. But like, I'm hopeful that I can. And I at least want to give myself this opportunity to just like work one job and have fun. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been great so far. First week was awesome. So
Yay! Well, congratulations.
Yes.
That is such a big
awesome.
step.
That's huge.
Yeah.
We're pulling for you. We love your books. We're so glad that you're here with us today, chatting about them. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that's everything for us. And we stayed on track.
We did so good.
We're under an hour.
Right.
Mildly feral today.
So good.
But Emilia, can you tell us where we can find you on social media?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm Emilia Emerson, author. Emilia is Emilia. Everywhere, being Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, I guess. And all my books are on, it's Forbidden Part 1, Forbidden Part 2, and Cherished, and they're all on KU and paperback, all that good stuff. And then my Mafia book will hopefully be coming out this summer.
Yay! So exciting.
Awesome.
Yay.
Perfect. Well, thank you everybody for listening, and we will catch you next week for our quarterly book reports. Yay, which you'll probably hear more about these books because somebody definitely will include them. So, but yeah, so we will catch you all next week, and Emilia, hang around for a few minutes. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Okay,
and
bye everyone.
Bye. Tits out. for listening to the Feral Friday podcast. Join us every Friday for unhinged shenanigans, books, games, and more. You can find us on Instagram at Feral Friday Pod. Did you know we have a website? Visit us at www.feralfridaypod.com. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. If you'd like us to cover a particular book or series, please send us an email at bferal@feralfridaypod.com. Happy reading!
Feral Friday.